got this. All right, so our topic for today says the 4 great enemies of multi-level marketing. The 4 great enemies of multi-level marketing. Now, most of us join this business very excited, okay, with a whole lot of enthusiasm. We joined this business and, in fact, it revived those dreams that we had while growing up. We began to picture the possibilities in our lives once again. Those things that, seemed not to be possible. We began to believe once again that those things are now possible. Okay? And that is the beauty of this business. And when that happened to us, we charged out with all sort of excitement. We were so excited about the possibilities, and we probably decided to go all out to ensure that we achieve success in this business. All right? But we need to be wary. We need to be armed. Okay? Because if we are not armed, what I mean by armed, if we are not armed with the right mindset and also what we should expect, the expectation from this particular business that we've just joined, that we might end up, charging out just the same way we charge in with all form of excitement. Okay, so the reason for this training is to let us know beforehand that there are 4 great enemies to your success in this business. And if you're not wary of these enemies, you might definitely fall a victim. Okay, you might definitely fall a victim to them. So you need to be wary of the 4 great enemies to your success in the multi-level marketing industry. So we're going to be taking a quick look at it, and hopefully in the next 30 minutes, okay, we should be done, and then we'll give room for questions and contributions. So let's go ahead. Okay, so follow me closely. All right. So what are the 4 great enemies of multi-level marketing? We have deception as the first great enemy. Deception. All right. The second is rejection. Okay. We have dream stealers. And the final is what we call attrition. These are the 4 great enemies to the multi-level marketing business. Okay. Now we're going to be taking these enemies, we're going to be discussing it, and we try to analyze and see how these things I just mentioned can form a kind of a potential stumbling block to your progress in this business. Now we're going to start with that of the deception. Now, how does deception become an enemy to your progress in the multi-level marketing business? Now, you see, most of us join this business, and because we are so excited about the possibilities, when we join when we come for the business opportunity meeting, now we hear the consultants or the presenter talking about the possibilities of you earning millions and millions of naira from this business. Okay, and you want to actually make that kind of amount of money, and you want it to happen for you in a very short period of time. Okay, you want it to happen for you in a very short period of time. Now, because you want it to happen in a very short period of time, now you put yourself under undue pressure to ensure that you generate that income within a short period of time. Now, it means that you might likely be tempted to go out there and begin to deceive people in order for them to get connected into the business. Meaning you don't go about running the business the right way. Okay? You are not using the system, you go out of the system. In fact, you begin to tell lies. All right? You begin to tell lies so that you can attract people into your business. Because they've told you that what if you sign somebody with megavat, okay, then obviously you will make 150,000 naira. And then if you sign 3 persons, you're going to make how much? 450,000 naira, and the company pays you an extra 300,000. And you've been thinking about it. How do I ensure that I can sign up 3 persons this month so that I can get the advantage of the additional 300,000 naira? And so the only thing that comes to your mind is, what lie do I tell to be able to entice people so that they can come in with that mindset, right, of not having to do anything, okay, of the company paying, huge amount of money with no effort whatsoever. And so you go about telling people all sorts of lies, and they begin to join your business. Now that is you running the multi-level marketing business, deceiving people, and that is what we call deception. Now you need to be mindful of this enemy, because this particular enemy has taken a whole lot of persons out of this business untimely. Yes, you can deceive people for a short period of time, but guess what? You cannot continue to deceive people for long, because very soon your sins will catch up with you and you will be out of the business. In fact, anybody that is caught running this business in deception, deceiving people, will be shown his or her way out of this business, because we are people of integrity, okay? And so we only genuinely show people an opportunity that has the potential to change their life, and we do it the right way, okay? So you need to be wary of this very, very, very dangerous enemy to your progress in this business, okay? So that is one. Now we move to the second enemy called rejection. This is also a very, very powerful enemy. Now, most of us join this business, and we have been told that we have a system that ensures that you run this business without talking, without actually convincing people or selling a marketing product, okay? And then we come in with that mindset, and we say, write out the names of the list of people you would like to recommend this business opportunity. And in your mind, you're beginning to think of those who you might likely recommend into the business, and they would not want to be a part of it, okay? Or you might likely be thinking of those that might have the resources to actually get connected, or people that will be willing to offer themselves to this kind of opportunity. Now, you've all ordinarily begun to make assumptions already, okay? You've begun to place, roadblocks for yourself already. Because who told you that that person that you said will join this business, if you recommend him, who told you that you're 100% sure that he's going to join? Okay? So you're not in any way 100% sure or certain that that person will come, see the opportunity, and get connected. So why discriminate? Why not just write out the names of the people that you know that are there in your contact, and then allow the system to work for you? The system has its way of sorting out people that will not be interested, and then also sorting out people that will be interested in the business opportunity. Now, when you are beginning to pick out people, it means that you started having the fear of rejection. Because in your mind, you are saying, oh, that this person, if I put his name, probably he will see me and he might not talk to me again. And so therefore, let me take out his name from my list. Because how you might be asking of yourself, how will this person feel if he discovers that at the end of the day, it was actually multi-level marketing that I introduced him at? And so even before the word go, you've started rejecting yourself. The person has not said no to you. It's not said no to you. But even before you offer him that opportunity to reject you, you've already rejected yourself. Okay? So this is a very powerful enemy, rather, to our progress in the multi-level marketing. And the most important thing to note is that this rejection most times comes from your family, comes from your very close friends. And that is why it's very painful, very, 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 devastating. Let me use that word. Okay? Now, that is the reason why we are taking our pains to tell you ahead of time. For those of you who are just connecting into this business, that this is a very important enemy you must be wary of. You might have seen this business opportunity. You go home to share the amazing news with your wife. Okay? And you're so excited, and you tell your wife the possibilities of making extra income, of buying yourself another car, of building a beautiful home, maybe in the next 1 or 6 years, 6 months rather, after you must have run this business. And then your wife is just looking at you and wondering where you came from. Okay? And wondering if you have, just met all these fraudsters and 419 people, and probably they've, talked you out of your senses. And she's looking at you and, waiting for you to finish talking. And when you are done talking, she tells you, so even you too. So even you too. They've gotten you too. So you can't even, make use of your senses to know that what they showed you is a scam. And immediately she says that to you. And she tells you, please, don't even bring that to my ears. I'm not cut out for that. And please do not spend any of our hard-earned money on such businesses. All right? And then what do? It seems as if your excitement has been cut short. Why? Because you have just been rejected. You've just suffered what we call rejection from your wife or from your spouse. The same thing can happen with your friends also. Okay? So rejection is everywhere. But something we need to use to console ourselves is that it is not only in this business that we suffer rejection. Rejection is part of life. And once you have that at the back of your mind, then you are good to go in this business. You need to know that rejection is part of life. Okay? Most of us, before we even got admitted into the university, I know how many schools might have rejected us. Okay? Most of us, before we got married, I'm very sure we might have even been rejected by some of our fiancés at the time, or maybe female friends. The same thing with ladies. Okay? You might have had some relationships where, you suffered a whole lot of rejection in one way or the other. So even in our businesses too, normal businesses, we still suffer rejection. Okay? The same thing, when you are someone who goes about to preach the gospel, the good news, all right, you still suffer rejection from unbelievers. So it is normal. It is part of life. So why is it that you start a business such as ours and you feel that everyone is going to just accept what you have to offer? It is not done that way, all right? You shouldn't have that mindset. You should understand that rejection is part of the business, okay? Some will, some won't. So what? You move to the next. That is the mindset you have to have, okay? So have that mindset, or rather have that knowledge today that rejection is one of the enemies of the multi-level marketing business, okay? Now let's move to the next dream stealer. The next enemy called dream stealers. The next enemy called dream stealers. Now, you need to understand that in this business, there are things that steal your dream from you. You need to be mindful of those things. Before you got connected into this business, there were things that you engaged yourself with ordinarily. Okay? You already had your day-to-day activities. Some activities were productive, while some were not productive. Okay? Productive meaning that some of the activities you were engaged in actually put money in your pocket. All right? But also, there were some activities that you were engaged in that never added 1 naira into your pocket. And that is what we categorize as dream stealer. So you must be wary of these things. Yes, you want to have fun. It's good to have fun. All right? It's good to be comfortable. All right? To live in your comfort. All right? But you see, if being in your comfort zone will not take you to where you ought to be, will not deliver financial freedom to you, then why do you remain in your comfort zone? Okay? Why will you remain in your comfort zone? When if you stretch yourself a bit, then you are already on your way to your financial freedom. Why wouldn't you want to step outside your comfort zone if that is what's going to take you to become financially free? So you must be wary of things that steal your dream. If it is watching movies that is taking you away, taking you apart from those dreams that you have, please, I beg you, cut those hours. You sit down and watch home movies and watch, whatever form of movies and all that. If you've always gone online and you spend 1, 2 hours, 3 hours doing nothing, just going on people's status to check out what is going on, all right, in their life, or probably you are going to Instagram, going to TikTok, and all those form of things, and then you spend hours doing nothing, things that are not adding any value to you whatsoever. These things are stealing your dream. Or probably you are someone who likes sports like myself, okay? You like football a lot. And so there is no Man U match that you miss. There is no Chelsea match that you miss. There is no Arsenal match that you ever miss. There is no Real Madrid match or Barcelona match that you will ever miss. You must, and you have told yourself that it's a must, I must watch all these matches. Now you must be mindful that these things are stealing your dreams away. All right? Because once you join this business, recall that you've started the journey to financial freedom. All right? And so your eyes must be on the ball. You don't take your eyes away from the ball. You must focus your attention on only those things that are productive. Okay? Now, who says that when you're financially free, you can't begin to watch movies, you can't begin to, what will I say, go and watch Premier League matches, Champions League matches. In fact, you can even pay your flight ticket rather than watch over the television. Okay? You can pay your flight ticket and go to the venue itself. The particular stadium they are playing the finals of the Champions League, you take yourself there and you watch it live. Okay? Now, but that is when you're financially free. Okay, so we need to understand that we need to pay the price now so that we can do what? We can play later. So be wary of the things that steal your dreams away. This we classify as also one of the great enemies of multi-level marketing business. Now, finally, we have attrition. Now, what is attrition? Attrition is when people join your business, they are all excited and all, and then before you say Jack Robinson, you find out that you don't have anyone again in your organization. They've all done what? They've all quit. They've all quit. Now, that is what we call attrition. You are signing in a month, you can sign up to 20 persons, connect 20 persons. But guess what? Before 2-3 months, what has happened? All those 20 people, they've all quit. You begin to build your organization afresh from the scratch. Now, we need to be mindful that this is also a great enemy in this business. So what do you do to stop attrition? Okay, you need to start on time to ensure that everybody you connect into this business goes through the necessary levels of training that he or she is supposed to go through. We have all these necessary trainings lined up in the SMO checklist. So that person must go through the SMO checklist. That is just like a manual, a hand guide that ensures that people are armed with the right beliefs and the right mindset to actually succeed in this business. So people must go through their IPO, they must go through their quick starter guide training. All right. They must always connect to our cell meetings. Okay. They must also do what? Also connect to a new academy, training, the new Connectors Academy. They must also connect. Now, these things enable them to get the right resources to enable them run their business. And so they can stay for a longer period of time. And so you don't suffer attrition much. But when you don't do the things you are supposed to do, when you don't get a new connector started right, then you are bound to suffer attrition. Okay? Now, none of us is immune to attrition. Just get that clear. Not even the highest earner in this industry. Nobody is bigger than attrition. But what rather than allow it to happen to you 100%, guess what? You can limit the level of attrition you have in your business. So let's assume yours today is 100% attrition. Now everybody who gets connected leaves your business. Then you know that there's something you're not getting right. Because you can actually bring down the attrition rate to probably 50% or even 30 or 20% if you do what is expected of you. So you try as much as possible to get a new distributor started right. Okay? Now, these are the 4 enemies to our success in the multi-level marketing industry. Now, what will take you out of this business? What will take you out of this business faster than you came in? Number 1, short-term thinking. If you have a mindset to only earn or make money for the short term, then it means you're not going to last in this business. And so you need to have a long-term thinking, a long-term plan, a long-term goal, right? You need to understand that we're not in a get-rich-quick scheme. Yes, you can make money fast in this business. There's nothing wrong with it. But you need to know that for you to build something that will be sustainable over time, for you to build it to a point where it becomes residual, such that you don't need to do work and the money keeps coming. You need to have a long-term perspective, a long-term, plan to grow and build your business. Okay? And obviously, we'll provide you the support and the mentorship to ensure it all happens. Now, you must also understand that it is very easy to come into this business. Very, very easy. This is the only business that I know that it costs you very, very little to get started. Some of you started this business with part payment. Some of you started this business with part payment. You couldn't even afford the 49,990 or even the 79,990. You couldn't even afford it. But guess what? Your business still got started. Okay? Now, how much does it take on the average to get connected into this business? Probably as about 80,000 naira or let's say 100,000 naira on the average. Now, what business can you get started with that amount of money and offers you the kind of daily income potentials that you can earn in this business? What kind of business is there? I don't think there is any as far as I'm concerned. Okay? Now, but you need to understand that the way that it is easy for you to come into. Okay, so what I was saying is as easy as it is to get into this business, it's also as easy as it is for you to get out of the business. So if you're coming in with as small as 50,000 or 80,000 naira, okay, you can just feel, well, after all, I've got to my product. So therefore, to hell with them. You can term us or call us any form of name, right? Just because you do not really understand the business properly. Okay? You have limiting belief in yourself. You have limiting belief in the network marketing profession. All right? And so you will quit the business, even without even doing anything in the first place. Say you should write your contact list. You say, no, until I see my product. I'm not going to give any list until I see my product. I want to confirm that it's for real first. Now the product even comes. You say until I use the product and confirm that the coffee is even tasting good. You keep series and series of excuses why you do not want to do anything, because it was easy for you to come into the business. You didn't spend much money. And that is why most people who, come in, with the maximum amount in this business, they're actually the ones that even last longer. People who come in with, the one profit center and, those lesser amounts, most of the times, the way they come in is the way they go out, because nothing is motivating them. They are not pushed. They did not stake anything. There is nothing that, when something is offered to you on a platter, you tend to joke with it because you don't understand the value of what you have. So you must be mindful that it's also capable of taking you out of this business. You feel it is easy to come in, all right? And my dear, let me announce to you that it is also easy to do what? To go out of the business. Now, when you also treat this business like a hobby, you do it only when you feel like. I'm very busy. I have a whole lot of things that I do. Okay? You are very busy. For something that can offer you financial freedom, you are very busy. Don't have time for this kind of thing. Meanwhile, where you are working currently, right? You are actually struggling to even make a living. You are struggling. And someone has offered you something that can turn around your fortune completely. And because you lack understanding, you are treating it like a hobby. You only do it when you feel like. You do it when you have a spare time. Now, let me sound a note of warning, especially for those who are connecting into this business. You can either run this business full-time, or you can run this business part-time. Or you can run this business in your spare time. Because that means that you're treating it like a hobby. Okay? So you must consciously map out some hours in a day to give to this business. You can say, okay, every day, consistently, I want to give this business 2 hours of my time. And it means that you're consciously making effort to ensure that the business succeeds, that you succeed in the business. That is the only way you can create success. And that's the only way you can create lasting success in this business. So you must not treat this business like a hobby. Not at all. Not at all. Okay? Now, when you are content with a good life, you are what? You are comfortable. Like I said earlier, you do not want to do what? Stretch yourself outside your comfort zone. You believe you can provide 3 square meals for your family. And so, you're not setting a target for yourself. Look, if you're running this business and you think it's all about you, let me announce to you that this business is not only about you. It's about those people that you can create an impact in their lives, right? Those people in your society that through this business, you can do what? You can change their life. You can begin to create a positive impact. So it is not just about you. Quit thinking about yourself alone. So that you can understand that we do this business with the passion of helping others to actually get or actually become successful. It's not just about us. Okay? So now, this is another thing that can take you out of this business. Emotional attachment. You are too emotional when it has to do with this business. Okay? You recommend somebody to come and see this opportunity, and the person comes, okay? And probably the person has seen this opportunity, and you happen to be there on that day. Instead of you to allow the consultant to talk to that person on your behalf, obviously they've been trained and they have better experience in the business than you. But you allow your emotions get the best of you. And so you begin to follow that person around. So now the business is good now, Shay. Which one are you starting with? No, it's good now. It's good. Start with this one. And you are now being emotional about everything. The person is seeing it written all around you. And the person feels, oh, this person just wants me to join so that he will make so amount of money. You know, the person will give you excuses and tell you, don't worry, let me just, don't worry, I will know now later. You know, the person might even tell you, my token, I can't make, I don't have token here, I can't make transfer. Tell you, no, let me get home first. Okay, for the sake of those that don't hear it, let me get home first. Okay, when I get home, my token is there, I will use it and make transfer. The person will disappear because you are emotionally attacked. You need to detach your emotions while you're running this business. Okay, you need to detach your emotions. Run this business like a professional. You are offering people a $1 million business opportunity. And so you act like a CEO of a multi-billion-dollar business. And you're looking for the very best to work with. You're not looking for anyhow people. So anybody that comes and decides not to run the business, fine. The person is definitely not what you need. You need people who are ready to be successful, and you work with them, and guess what? The sky will be your starting point. So detach your emotions. Detach your emotions. Okay? And you can only do this successfully when you've been able to acquire the skills necessary to build this business. That is also why it is important to commit to acquiring the skills in this business. Right? And so we're going to be training you on those skills as we go on in this new Connected Academy training. Now, what it takes to win. What does it take to become a winner in the multi-level marketing business? Number one, very importantly, you need to accept a temporary loss of self-esteem from ignorant people. So many people have a whole lot of perception, negative perception rather, negative. Let me underline that word, negative perception about the business that we do. They confuse it to Ponzi schemes. They confuse it to, the likes of MMM, Ultimate Cycle, and the rest of them, where people rip others off their hard-earned money. They confuse it for investment schemes where people promise you heaven and earth. They promise you to double your income. Just put money, we'll double it overnight. They confuse it for a whole lot of things. All right? And so you don't blame them. Okay? And that is why it is your duty, okay, as a part of this opportunity, business opportunity, this industry, to have the understanding so that you can begin to correct that negative perception about this industry. Because now you've been trained, you are much more knowledgeable. And so it is your job to begin to correct that negative perception. And so for those people that come and have that feeling, have that impression about what we do, guess what? You need to accept a temporary loss of self-esteem, because those people will feel that, oh, you've joined bad gang. Abi, you've joined bad gang. You now want to come and start defrauding us. They will have that mindset towards you. But guess what? You need to accept it, because it's not their fault. They are only being what? Ignorant. They're only being ignorant. And guess what? Eventually, the tables will turn around. When you begin to taste the success that we obviously promised for those of you who will take this business seriously, and they begin to see that police has not come to arrest you. EFCC has not come to look for you. The business is souring. More and more people are joining the business. The business has lasted 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 10 years. And it is still going. Nothing has happened. It is not somebody that will tell them that what you are doing is not 419. All right? They will know for themselves. Okay? So, but if you quit, then you have validated whatever it is that they felt about your business. If because of the emotions they give to you, they talk shit, they talk, let me sorry for my word, shit about what you do. And then because of that, you decide, oh, then I think that's what I was even thinking. This thing itself is not a legitimate business and all that. Okay? So you must accept temporary loss of self-esteem from any ignorant people. You need to get rid of emotional attachment. I'll explain this, okay? Do not allow your emotions get the best of you. Run this business as a professional. Even if it is your father, your mom, your sister, your brother that you recommended and he has come and seen the opportunity, allow the consultants to do their job, okay? Let them close them down for you. Are we together? Let them close them down for you. All right, decide to become a network marketing professional. Okay, all this that I've mentioned earlier will only be possible if you decide to become a professional. The knowledge that I have today, it is out of my commitment to run this business as a professional, and I committed to it. Okay, and that is why I can at least boast of certain results that I'm achieving right now. So you need to commit to become a professional. To grow your income, you need to grow yourself. Very, very important. Okay, so you need to involve in a whole lot of personal development. Personal development. You know, there are books that have been recommended to you guys, especially for those who have just joined this business. Now, the first book that was recommended to every new connector is Your First Year in Network Marketing. Now, I'll be shocked if most of you who are here connected, the new connectors I'm talking to precisely, I'll be shocked. I'm sorry, I wouldn't be shocked, rather, if none of you have even taken time to even go through any chapter whatsoever of this book. I wouldn't be shocked. No, but you need to understand that anything you do without knowledge, obviously you're not going to get the success you desire. You need knowledge in everything you do. And it is only through those books that we recommend to you and some others that might come up from time to time that you begin to get the knowledge you need to succeed and last in this industry. All right, and grow the wealth you need, the massive wealth that you need from this business. So you need to do what? To grow yourself so that you can also grow your income. Have a big goal and have a big dream. Okay? Have a big goal and have a big dream. If your dream is big enough, guess what? The facts don't matter. Okay? Keep your eye on the ball. Have that positive attitude. Believe in yourself. Okay? Be passionate about what you do. Guess what? Commit to becoming professional, and the sky will be a starting point. You need to have a big dream and a big goal. Thank you very much. And I think we're done for today's training. So at this point, we'll be entertaining contributions and we'll also be entertaining questions. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I believe we got value. So let me